So this is our first presentation, and I think the part um, we went through discussion of NetBeans and where the source code is located. The next part gives you the signature of what you pretty much get inside. And I guess, to speed it up, to facilitate it a little bit, I am going to jump to the code and just talk a little bit about different parts. So we discussed the package quite a bit. Um, I would say let's forget about the package declaration for a while. We know it's there. It's just a matter of extra subdirectory in our project. That's okay. It's not really an obstacle. Hopefully in the near future, you would view this as a convenience that you can have a package. The next thing that we must have in any Java program is that we have to have at least one class. In our case, this is a runnable class, and I called it main app. In fact, again, NetBeans was expecting that I have to have it. That's why it offered on its wizard screen an automation of its creation. And that's good because it's also declared public. It doesn't have to be public, but it's declared public means that it's pretty open for use. At this point, let's just stop at that level. Also, this is what makes it really runnable, this method named main, which we already mentioned, includes the arguments. Potential command arguments can be found in this arguments array. We're not going to use it for a while, but that's the name of the method. A void is actually a return, the data that this method returns. A void means the method does not intend to return anything. That's just a technicality at this point. But void is a keyword in Java programming language which signals that do not expect any output from this method if you were able to find a way to call it. Okay, so we're going to stop at that. It's public. It's public because we want it to be public. So if it wasn't public, we probably wouldn't be able to run it from the command line. We can probably experiment with this, right? We can make it private, right? And see what happens. At the command line that we still have, we can scroll back to the original javac command, try to run that. Javac doesn't complain because it says, oh, okay, there's nothing wrong with this Java syntax. Everything is fine. But how about running it? If we go to our java.exe and run it, it says, hey, uh, there's a problem. Main method not found in class hw2.mainApp. Please define the main method. So just kind of a little confusing, but it says you begin to sense that whatever's public is available for use. Whatever's private is intended only to be used inside this class, inside main app. So we'll just change it to public because that's helpful to have. One other little piece on this line, unfortunately, there's just such a long bunch of keywords here. Static. Static means that you do not have to create objects to be able to call this method. Normally, most of the method will belong to objects, will belong to classes. Objects will be instantiated, and only after uh, an object is instantiated, you will be able to call a method, because the method would be specific to that particular class instance or object instance. In our case, we just want an operating system to find a little executable piece inside our Java program, and that's why it needs to be declared static. In a way, it means that it needs to be accessible as is. No specific other things have to happen before a call can be made to this piece. So for a while, we'll probably stick with static methods, but as soon as we know how to create classes and how to create instances of them, perhaps main will be the only static method in our program. Everything else will belong to a class and will be actually non-static. And when I say non-static, it's simply something without it in its declaration right there. But here I'm just bringing it back in. So finally, the remaining part is the statement. Very quickly, system is just a library set of classes and declarations. Out is an object that represents standard output. Print line is a non-static method inside the class that defines out, and that's why it requires this object right here so that it can run uh, uh, specific to this particular object. And hello is our little string argument that we give to say, let's print this particular text. Print ln stands for print line. It means that a new line is automatically appended at the end of hello, so that the next output will automatically start on the next line.